Hey y'all,
I'm John.
and I'm Kim. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Magnolia Peach Tea Podcast, where we share real life stories to help you navigate life's ups and downs.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for updates.
Now let's get to the tea.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Magnolia Peach Tea Podcast.
Today we're talking about some topics that bring about unpopular opinions,
Heat people up.
and stir up some serious debates. So let's get to the tea.
So I was reading this article that I found online about unpopular opinions that can get people talking, right? So it was a whole list, big long list of them. And there were a couple that I wanted to bring about. I thought about you, John, and I know without a doubt, you're definitely going to have an opinion on this.
You know I do.
So the first one was marriage is more about business and less about love. Okay, let me say it again. Marriage is more about business and less about love. So I think it depends on who you're talking to. Because first of all, I'm hoping, well, I guess it could be a diverse group, right? So if you're single and this is your opinion, that marriage is more about a business and less about love, then that's probably why you're single, because you're thinking about it as a business.
Exactly.
And not looking for a companion or someone who you could
or emotionally tied to.
Yeah, and spend the rest of your life with, because businesses don't last forever. Businesses do have longevity, but I don't think businesses last forever. And I don't
and
think
the goal for business is different from marriage.
Yeah, you can't go into a relationship thinking about it as a business. You know, businesses have business hours, right? So you mean to tell me that you're only going to be in this relationship or this marriage for certain times
8 to 5,
of the day?
Monday to Friday.
Yeah. How does that look? Look financially? And I know that's a big red flag in a lot of relationships. And maybe that's the way that they're looking at it, right? From like the business mind. You have your funds, I have my funds. The house has their funds. If y'all know anything about me, I can't remember which episode, but we talked about this or touched about this on one of our previous episodes about shared bank account, right? As far as you're married, do you guys share an account or do you have separate accounts? I'm team shared account, right? Because we in this together, we become one. Ain't no, this is mine, this is yours. I don't see that. I can't see that in my marriage. And thank God it's been successful. But I know some who do have separate account. And for the most part, they have been and or are successful with it. But to me, I'm sure that there probably has been some rocky roads in that relationship with those separate bank accounts, right? Because if I'm making more, you're making less. It's a whole, it just doesn't work mathematically for me.
Right. When you're talking about separate bank accounts and you're married, is that something that you would initially come out of the gate talking about, oh, we can't share money? Because then I question why you're married.
Yeah, it's a red flag.
And then if you're already married and in a relationship and say, oh, okay, we got to separate funds, we got to separate our money. To me, and I'm going to speak from my personal experience, that's a trust issue. I no longer trust that you are financially responsible to handle the money that I make. So I need to pull out. So
I guess maybe that's the idea that they're thinking, that marriage is more about a business. But I still don't see it. I think that if you're looking at it as a business, and my degree is not in business.
Mine is.
So I think I have a different perspective. I just don't see it.
Because to me, when you're in a business, you have a business plan. In that business plan, you're outlining what the business is going to look like, how it's going to operate, and as such,
is that the mindset that they would have? in a
You
relationship
have,
looking at it?
I guess you would, but in business, I don't have to like you.
Ooh.
We just need to be on the same page when it comes to this business. In marriage, how can you be married to somebody that you don't like?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So I don't agree that it's a business. Marriage is, I feel if let me not say, I don't agree with it, but I feel like it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I know in other cultures, there are some cultures that have these arranged marriages, and I can see those looking like a business arrangement, because in those cultures, it is, based on economic levels. But for me, I don't need to be, my marriage can't be a business.
Yeah.
It has to be a marriage.
Yeah. I mean, you go to your husband, right? Because you need some attention, or you need to confide in him for X, Y, and Z, about X, Y, and Z. And it's a business, right? And he's like, business closed. I
Right.
can't be bothered with you right now.
Right.
It's like, so what you here for then?
So what's the point? Right. Why even have a marriage? Why even go through the process? Why even go into covenant with God with this marriage if it's a business?
Yeah.
If that's the case, we can shack up.
Exactly. There's no need to
Shack up,
to do
and we
the
can have
whole.
an agreement, put it in a lease, do another agreement saying, hey, if this happened, X, Y. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that you can do outside of marriage, because I think marriage is deeper.
I think some people are set up like that, though. I mean, just me looking from the outside through the window, I see some marriages that are kind of set up like that. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know. If you like it, then I love it. But if you ask me, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if that's going to work for long term. It's just like one of the other opinions that they wrote or noted here was getting married solves most of your problems in life, right? For those people who are either financially unstable, get with somebody, get married so that he or she can help you, and it can be a combined income, right? Or whether it is, I'm lonely, I don't have anyone, and you're just looking for that person to fill a void, right? You can't, because then what happens when that void gets filled? And you're like, okay, I want to move on. I'm not liking this one. I'm not liking this no more.
Right.
Or another void opens and that person is not able to fill it, right? Because they don't have the capacity or the ability to take care of that need for you, because they were only there to fill that one specific need you were looking for at that time. No, it has to be well-rounded. It has to be in the healthcare world, holistic, right? The entire you, be able to assist the entire you. So,
but to me, that statement sounds a bit like you are a player, because you're just looking for the come up. Yeah. So you're gonna marry somebody just to come up. Oh, they got good credit, or they credit better than mine, or they got money in the bank, or nah,
that ain't gonna work.
Nah,
it's not gonna work.
Not in 2024.
No. And if I could give anybody, any advice, if you have problems or issues, be it mentally, financially, spiritually, or try and get that resolved before you get into the marriage. Don't bring in baggage. Don't bring in baggage, because it's going to be too heavy, right? First of all, you're going to have to readjust your life, because now you're a new person, right? You're in this marriage as a new person. So you can't bring in that extra baggage like that. It's only going to bring you down.
It's going to weigh you down even more, because you got on this arm, on one arm, you're carrying the baggage from the past, and on the right arm, you're carrying the new baggage, the new Louis Vuitton luggage that you're trying to fill, and because you're trying to be this new person. Not saying that you have to be Louis Vuitton, I'm just saying, but I'm just, it's like it's too much to handle all at once. So yeah, I agree. You got to get rid of that old baggage before you go into that covenant and be this new person, and create a different type of baggage, because now it's a joint. Like, we putting stuff together, we putting it all together. We got one suitcase.
Yeah, you can't go in looking at it as when I get married, things are gonna get better, or
Right.
it's gonna help me to do X, Y, and Z if I get married.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that to
Mm-mm.
yourself, and don't do that to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Correct.
fair.
Because that's gonna scar them. That's gonna
Yeah.
scar them big time,
Yeah.
and
I agree.
just ruin things for the future. So
Exactly.
yeah, don't get married to solve your problems, and better believe marriage is not a business at all.
Not
It's
at all.
you have to have love. You have to include love in it, and you have to look at it from a love standpoint, right?
That should be your first. That's the first thing.
Mhm.
That should be your first. Everything else that comes after the emotional tie you have to this person is a bonus, I guess. But
Mhm.
you have to love that person. And I'm not talking about love them for what they can do for you or what they can do for you or anything like that. But they have to love you for you.
Mhm. Like they say, you gotta love them last year draws. You gotta, I mean, it goes deeper than, oh, he can do this for me, he can buy me flowers, he pays this, he does that. It's not all about, the come up. It's
Right.
not all about the come up, because what
Marriage is not
happens?
another slang word for come up. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
What happens if, God forbid, one day he or she can't do that for you? Are you out?
No, probably, and I could be wrong. They're looking for the next.
Yeah, yeah. Just be mindful of that. The
Yeah.
other unpopular opinion, I read it in this article, and then just so happened to come across a social media post, and I don't know the people who were in the video, but the young lady was talking about taking a shower. And so they asked her, what's the first thing that you wash when you're in the shower? And she said, oh, first thing's my hair. She said, I wash my hair. I shampoo my hair, and then I condition my hair, then I wash my face, and then I'm out.
Oh, Lord, dog. The Charlie Brown character that had he wouldn't take a well. Oh,
Pigpen. It's Pigpen.
exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-mm.
So the unpopular opinion was daily baths and showers are not needed.
So if this is your opinion, please stay away from me.
I knew you were
Do
coming
not
with
come
it.
near me because no. As an adult, I cannot see. And okay, you're in the medical field, so I'm gonna let you answer this one first. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that there are some studies out there that have shown, I don't know the validity of them or, the whole test and trial, but some studies show that because we shower too much, it removes the good bacteria from our skin that's there to protect us. Right. So me personally, I think it's nasty, right? I've been in the medical field. I've, come across people. I've come across people. Let me say that. Right?
In my
clinical world, my clinical experience, I've come across people that were not bathing as often as they should be. Some people can go a day or two without bathing. Right. Some people should not. Okay. Depends on your diet. Big part of it, because all of that comes out in your pores. It depends on your physical activity level, whether you are someone who's active outdoors or if you're indoors, right? Some of our senior population, I could see they really don't have to take a bath daily because they're not doing anything, outside of in the home, right? Nothing strenuous, and it can dry their skin out. It's a whole issue. So I can understand that. If you out in the streets, you need to be taking a bath every day. And so let me just say this.
Let's also talk about the vicinity where you're located in. Because if you are in the South, if you are in any place where the sun come out, you need to take a bath every day. If you work outside, Lord Jesus, if you work outside, not even if you work outside, if you go outside, because when you come back in and you smell like the outside, you need to take that, girl. So
So yes, and you know, the other part of that social media post was the fact that she just washed her hair, washed her face. She said that the soap and the shampoo for when she washed her hair and her face rolled down her body and washed it. She didn't need to, use a towel or anything to.
Okay. Okay, so let's get
Let's not don't so as a woman.
Thank you.
As a man too. I mean, we got to hit the hot spots. I'm so sorry. There is no way you should be letting water touch your body in a bathing environment and not hit the hot spots with a towel, a washcloth, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they even have disposable ones now. Look,
exactly.
Wipes or whatever. You have to use something. And
so before you move on to that, Jesus. So letting water just run down your body with everything that people put on their body. We're talking about perfumes, oils.
I mean, everything that's in the environment as well. You get, especially, since it's warming up a little bit more outside, pollen, everything's kind of blooming and stuff. So, you're carrying all that stuff.
Lotion that I reinforce with oil. I'm African American. I'm ash, right? Okay. So that does not just dissolve.
No.
I scrub, I exfoliate every day. Like, because
But you're a little different, sister. You got OCD.
OCD issues, yeah.
So you're a little different, but at minimum, we gotta get in there. We gotta get.
But the caveat in there, unless you have a medical situation that requires you not to be bathed fully, like fully, and then you gotta be in a body cast for me to understand. But I'm just saying, there's some. So, because even if it's just your leg, you had an ankle issue, it was only one ankle. The rest of my body needs to be washed.
Yeah. I was sitting on a chair in the bathtub. I'm like, no, we got to get some water and a towel and some soap. I cannot put hanging out. Yeah, it was bad.
Like you was about to say, we females, and not all of us are in this age that we are in. Not all of us are Gen X on that cusp age of that word, that M word. So some still have
yeah
and you're not,
so you gotta use I don't know how they do it. I have no clue. Flies
flying around you and you wonder why the flies out, because you stink.
No. So, and I'm kind of leery, like, I'm into fragrances. We're into fragrances right now. I'm kind of leery about some of those people who use a lot of fragrances, because I'm like, wait a minute, are you just putting this on top of what you got going on?
So you think you putting on 2 cents, you actually got 4, 5, 6, 7 going on because you ain't wash your body.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't know if people realize that sweat is the same as urine. I mean, that's your body's way of ridding itself of waste. That's what your sweat is.
Right.
So I'm like, I cannot.
But my thing is, she understood, or it was important for her to wash her hair. She said she washed and shampooed her hair, and she washed her face.
That's it.
She didn't let the water just trickle on her face. She washed her face.
That was it.
But she didn't wash her body. Ma'am, you's nasty.
No. So she didn't feel it was necessary, because it just, the soap from her hair and her face washed the rest of her body.
All right. Now let's talk about something else.
That's why I have issues sitting next to people and
potlucks, girl.
I know.
Now she got 4 or 5 dishes. She volunteered to bring 4 or 5 dishes to the potluck.
She just rinsed them. She just rinsed them all.
Why wash it? The water touched it. Why I gotta scrub that pot? That's nasty.
That's why I have an issue. At one of the medical offices I used to work at, they kind of put a policy in place where it was required that you greet the patient by shaking hands.
Oh, I'm gonna have to resign.
And this was pre-COVID, right? And so
I'm still gonna have to resign.
So my manager at the time, she called me in and she was like, Kim, I just want to bring to your attention, I've noticed that when you're calling the patients back, I noticed that you didn't greet them with a handshake. So I said, you're right. I did not. And I said, I don't plan to. I don't know where their hands have been. And as you note, I always wear long sleeves in this office. And so it's not a negative thing, but just like we have to have universal precautions, right? We have to treat everyone as though they may have an infectious disease or something like that. We have to be cautious. Same thing with me. I don't know where your hand's been. Right. You might be the cleanest person in the world. I don't know where your hand's been. So I don't want to come into contact with anything. And that's probably why I'm not at the bedside now. I don't want to come into contact with anything.
But that's an odd requirement. They come in to see the doctor. They sick.
So and I said that. I said, hand washing and hand contact, like that is the number one way to spread illnesses. So I said, I don't agree with shaking hands just to greet somebody who I don't know when you're requiring me before I even go in the room to wash and sanitize my hands. And I mean, so it's like, damn me, right? I'm gonna protect this person in the room, but damn me on the outside the door, right? Because I got to touch everybody. So I'm like, I just don't. So from that point on, she was like, well, don't worry about it. I understand. Because I said, look, I got anxiety and a little bit of OCD, and I don't like to touch people outside of wearing gloves, right? Like y'all have taught us, like I've learned the 20-something years as a nurse. This is not, I can't. So just imagine these people.
Firemen, whatever you're going to do.
Yeah. So now imagine these people who talking about they don't wash themselves. So it's like, well, if you're not washing yourself or taking a bath or a shower, you don't think it's needed. Are you washing your hands when you go to the bathroom?
Nope, they don't think it's needed.
Ma'am. And they do it. I've seen women in the bathroom come out the stall and then just walk out the door. I've seen it. So y'all, come on now.
Like, I'm standing at the sink washing my hands. She come out the stall and just walk out the door. Now I'm gonna say something. I'm sorry. I'm gonna yell it out. I'm gonna say something.
Wash your hands.
I'm gonna say nasty be. I'm gonna say something because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But what about those who think you don't need to use a washcloth?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I'm gonna use my hand. Like, what am I gonna use? So this might be an OCD thing.
Just the bar soap.
That's the OCD. That's why today I do not. I can't tell you the last time I used the bar soap. Honestly, I can't tell you. But like, why? How is that? If you're dirty, you're gonna take the product that's supposed to clean your body and you're gonna put it on your dirty body. How is that? How is that?
That's what they do.
Come on now.
That's what they do.
Come on now. But
that's what they do.
Use a washcloth?
Girl, I've seen patients hop in the shower with no towel. None. No towel. They just had that little hospital bar soap.
Meanwhile, I got a towel for my face, a towel for my body. I got a loofah scrunchie. Like, I got all this paraphernalia in my shower. Don't use nothing. Yeah. And that's ridiculous.
I don't see how they feel that it's clean. I guess just the water. That stuff starts to cake up. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Okay, so I got another unpopular opinion. Hey, this is opening my OCD. She's very loud in my ear right now. She's telling me, ask him about taking a bath.
So
my opinion, a bath is a prelude to a shower.
Really?
I didn't grow up like this. I don't know. I honestly don't know where this came from. But one day I drew a bath and it looked so pretty. The blue water, like I put all the stuff in it and I don't know what it may have been a bath bomb or something, but it was just so pretty. And then I put my foot in it and then I sat down in it and then the water didn't look as blue no more. But I'm still sitting in it. So then I take that water that I'm already questioning its cleanliness and I, proceed to bathe my body And then something just clicked inside my head and said, you are washing yourself with dirty water.
Oh my goodness, John.
So, hence and forevermore, a bath is a prelude to a shower. It is where I go to when I want to just sit and relax or soak or just whatever. But I am immediately getting up and taking a shower to cleanse my body.
So you mean to tell me, so when you take a bath, you
Mhm.
wash yourself in the bath and everything. So when you get out, you don't rinse yourself off, like run the water with the water.
That's in the
What?
bathtub?
With running water.
Oh, yeah, in the shower.
John. So what was it? Okay. So then it'd be the same thing like when you're washing dishes then, right? Because you're washing dishes in a sink of water with
Mhm.
soap, and
Mhm.
these dishes are dirty. Your water gets dirty. So you're saying that those dishes are not clean?
Mm. Thank you for that. Now,
Lord.
thank you. Thank you. There,
Oh
she tapping me on my shoulder. We got another one. Mm.
Oh my gosh.
But I use the dishwasher more than not. So
I hear
in
you.
my head, it's right. But yeah, for the bath, and for me, that's why I don't like my laundry process. I don't like my clothes sitting in the water. Like back in the day,
The washer was filled. Yeah,
washer was filled with water, and then you put your clothes in, and sometimes you forget something and you go back and you see that water look that color. And you're like, it just started. Like, so it's gonna wash all the clothes in
this
that
dirty ass
water.
water.
Right. Yeah, I can't do them kind of washers no more. I can't do that. I need myself to run. Yeah. I don't know I forgot what it's called, but that's what I need.
Energy efficient
Yes.
washers or whatnot.
Yes. Yes. I don't. We just not gonna feel so. And Kim, I know you remember. Like we used to always have to go back to the lawn and put something in the washer, and that was I'm like, not what?
Yeah.
Can't do it no more.
So you think of the bath water the same way?
I do. So I get up. I love baths. Mom gave me these bath bombs. Girl, I'm almost finished with them. I love baths. Like I got a Epsom salt. I got oils. I got bath bombs. I got bubble bath. Like I like a bath. I like a luxurious hot bath. I sit in that sucker for 2 hours. I have to refresh my water because it's done got cold. But you best believe after them 2 hours, I'm standing up, walk into that shower and showering and washing.
That's too much, sister.
It is too much, but that's just me. And some people may not see that's a girl, that's not even necessary type situation, but it's necessary.
I guess not. If you got some walking around talking about baths and showers aren't needed.
Right. Oh, no. Nah. I have some scenarios, but I'm gonna choose not to talk about the people, but just the actual scenario. And the first one is step parent situations. So in this thing that I saw, it's a lot, it was a child addressing some issues with the parent, but then instead of the parent being the one to clap back, because unfortunately this was all done on social media, the step parent was the one who had all of the things to say. And I don't agree with that.
So was the child talking about the step parent?
No.
The child was talking about their parent, their biological parent.
Their issue was with their biological parent, their birth parent, not the step parent. Never addressed the step parent outside of the fact that the mom had kids with the stepdad and those kids were treated differently, but the issue was not about the step parent or with the half siblings. It was with the mom, and the mom, for whatever reason, decided that she was going to stay quiet. And let me not say maybe she decided, because we don't know, but maybe she was
under duress.
Maybe she was. But it was the step parent who had all the had the responses or responded to the child's, I guess, frustrations. And I just don't agree with that. As a former step parent, when I was married, my husband had kids before we got married. I was a step parent. I'm basically what I like that people call it today, the bonus mom. You know, I'm the bonus mom, but I'm not there to take anybody's place because you have a mom and this person had a dad, but I'm here to help in whatever capacity that your dad needs for you. So for me, a step parent is just that bonus parent. The rearing of the child, you know, the bringing up of the child, in my opinion, is between the biological parents, the mom and the dad. I feel that regardless of where y'all together or not, y'all amicable or not, for the child's sake, y'all should have a relationship on how to bring about or how to bring up this child. If you have a significant other that comes about during that process, in my opinion, that person should understand their boundary.
True.
As that step parent.
True.
You're not trying to replace a parent. Anything that I did for any of my stepkids was things that I did because I wanted to. Not because anybody told me to, not because I was trying to do better than their mom or show up their mom. It was because it was things that I wanted to do. If I wanted to buy them clothes, I was going out to buy them clothes. If I wanted to take them out to the park or do something, I was going to take them out to the park and do something. It was never, because your mama not going to do it, I'm going to do it type situation. That's not it. And it was never that, your dad told me I had to do it, so that's why I did it type situation. That's not it.
Yeah.
And when the parents didn't or weren't getting along, I stayed out of it. I stayed out of it. Not my business. Not my business. Now, when those kids came to stay with us for any length of time or period of time, I treated them like my child because I wanted to make sure that they were safe and that they were taken care of. They ate, they bathed, they went to school when they stayed with us during school, but I was not their mom. You want to go to the dance? Call your mom and see what she say, or ask your dad. I'm not your parent.
Yeah.
And I just feel that, step parents, the bonus mom situation, like I get it, but I feel sometimes, especially in the scenario that I saw, that step parent overstepped. He overstepped the steps, overstepped to the point where he was basically just degrading the child and then making him feel like he was ostracized, like to the point where then the child again has something else to say about the stepdad saying something. Like it just kept going on. And I'm looking at all this like, Mama, you're not going to say nothing? You're not going to say nothing. That's between you and your child.
Yeah.
That you had with somebody else.
It sounds
like he never
said
nothing about his half siblings. It was the relationship that you and him had.
It sounds like she let him get in. She let the stepdad get in the middle or in between her and her child.
I think she did, and I think she was wrong for that.
Yeah.
Because I think people do what they are allowed to do.
Correct.
And she allowed him.
She has the ability to stop.
Exactly. She did.
Or at least say, you know what? Let us take this offline. Let me and my child talk about this privately. Yeah. But like I said, maybe she was being forced to do this, or I don't know what their relationship is, but maybe she didn't have a choice, or she was told that she shouldn't say anything. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy to me. I don't think that was the best way to do it. And then if anything, stepdad, what you should have said was, let's take this off of social media.
Yeah.
Not keep adding to it.
What was the goal?
Right. Like what like this person posted it on social media because basically from what I got, he said he couldn't reach his mom any other way. There was no other communication. And basically he was proved right. Right? Because the response came via social media.
Yeah. So it sounds like maybe stepdad may have been blocking, him from reaching out to mom, or from mom responding to him. Something. Because you're not gonna come on social media, or you're not gonna come in and control the whole conversation between me and my child.
Right.
Unless you're forcing your way through that and you giving me directive not to,
Right.
not to speak because I may have some repercussions. You might have some repercussions.
Miss Lady, blink twice if you need us to call
Right?
people.
I know, right? I know,
But
right?
and granted, unfortunately, this was a celebrity. Her husband's not a celebrity, but this was
Crazy.
a celebrity. And, you're right. She could have been forced. This particular celebrity, there's been some things that came out about their relationship as well. So she could have been forced. But again, I don't know. And I don't know if it's easy for me to say because I don't have kids. I don't know. But you coming in, you don't have nothing to say about it. Nothing.
Not in front of me. I mean, and I say in front of me, not before I'm able to say, you back up what I'm saying, right?
Right.
But you don't speak ahead of me, or for me to my child.
Right.
That's just not gonna fly. They ain't gonna fly, not at all.
Well, again, it's been going back and forth on social media, but again, I hope that, they find some kind of resolve. And I hope that the stepdaddy starts to understand that his voice needs to be a whisper in his wife's ear.
Correct.
And it's more like, baby, I got you type situation instead of you say this, that, and the other, But I hope they figure it out. There's a grandbaby involved or maybe grandchildren involved, but there's, he's had kids and stuff. And number one, stop the generational curses, generational things from happening. Keep continuing. He wants to do better as a dad. Apparently, his dad was not, from my understanding, his biological dad was not very active in his life. So he did have some posts where, he's trying to stop those generational curses and be the best dad that he can for his kids. And I hope that continues. I hope that him and his mom find some resolve outside of the stepdad situation. And even though I still hope he has some sort of relationship with his stepdad, because that's his mom's husband. So, they still have to have some kind of relationship. But I just wish that, unfortunately, I wish that we didn't know about things like this.
Yeah.
But social media is one of, has unfortunately given people that platform to air out their dirty laundry. And, unfortunately, we see it.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion about that. The other one was about the idea of work wives and work husbands. What in the world is that?
That's craziness, is what it is.
Right. Earlier we talked about marriage, right? And stuff. And it's like, if I call somebody my husband, we're married. Period. I'm not just throwing that term around to anybody. And if we're working, you're definitely not my husband.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not your wife. And the what I saw was that people were talking about, if my work husband is not at work, then I'm calling out too. That type of situation. Like, I think you got something else going on. Like,
that's called side piece, honey. That's called extramarital affairs. That's what that's called.
Work nothing. I think you're the side piece.
Infidelity. That's what that's called.
Right. Or like, like there was one where the young lady said her work husband grabbed her breast. And I'm like, what I wanted to say was, because you gave him the title of your husband. So why would he not think that that's his?
Yeah, that's a precious title. That's not just something you just throw around. I'm not down with that. Anybody who knows me know I'm not for the messing around outside of your marriage. You took a covenant with God, with you and your significant other, spouse, husband, wife. And no, we don't play around like that. We don't play around. That's not something you do. I'm a firm believer that, because our relationship, me and Lawrence's relationship, was built on a friendship that, grew into a deep love for one another. So you can't play around with that. Don't play. And so now you took a covenant with this person that you decided to spend the rest of your life with, right? But when he or she is not around, you playing with somebody else, right?
You playing house.
So you don't know what type of mental level this person is on, right? Whether they're going to flip out, whether they really think in their head that you are their work husband and or wife. And now you got workplace violence you're trying to deal with because the person flipped out because you said, I don't want to play no more. or I'm gonna be with my husband or my wife. We not gonna do this no more. And so no, they're like, no, you gonna forever be, man. Nah, don't play around like that.
Right.
Do not play around like that. Oh, girl, I wish Lawrence would be like, yeah, I wish.
I'm like, so what's the benefit of being a work spouse? Like what they gonna finish your work so you can leave early?
No. To my understanding, it is as though you're not really doing work. You're playing house.
So it's emotional.
What work is being done? If we touching on breasts, we doing this, doing all kind of other stuff, in the copy room, getting our groove on and all. Man,
bringing lunches. That was another video that I saw. The lady was talking. She was packing her lunch for her work husband at her house with her husband right there. So her husband, girl, stop.
I wish I would.
Girl,
I wish I would.
If that would have been me, I'd have been like, if I was her, I wouldn't
eat it.
If I was her, I would not eat it.
But no, that's how they are. The whole going to lunch thing. I remember like way back in our relationship. Lawrence was talking about, I think he was at Circus City. I think so. And he had went to lunch with one of the female co-workers there. Girl, I think I might have flipped out. Yeah, it was bad. And the thing is, I knew of her. I had met her before because we were all going to school together. So I met her. I think she was like a supervisor or something at the time. And I'm like, no. So you mean to tell me just you and her? Never, ever, never, ever let it happen again.
That's called a date.
Ever.
I'm just saying.
But he is so kind-hearted and so, he would never, like he didn't see those things coming.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, but you don't want.
Tell him call his sister-in-law. I'm going to tell him. No, tell that bitch I'm coming. Tell her I'm coming. We don't even have to tell my sister. Tell him I'm coming.
I said, that's a recipe for disaster. I said, because you don't tell me that you're going to ahead of time, hey, I'm going to go and have lunch with X, Y, and Z. And then John sees you out to lunch with Amy and and it's a whole altercation, right? Got the whole police department out there because she see her brother-in-law sitting with this chick who is not her sister. That's a whole issue. Or somebody else seeing you out there and they come back and say,
myself. I need y'all to come and arrest me because I'm about to do this.
Or they see you out with somebody who's not me, right? And so now that's how rumors get spread. I saw Lawrence with so and so, him and Amy having lunch, and Kim wasn't there, and then stuff gets back to me, and I'm like, wait, who's this? What's going on? Oh, it was just lunch. Nah, Ninja. Nah. So let's nip that in the bud. Let's not even go there or have anybody to have any false scripts about what's going on. We're not doing it. So we don't do that whole work husband, work wife. I don't even know if he have real associates that are females at work, because I think I just scared him straight out. No.
Yeah, probably so. But that's okay though. That's okay. That's okay.
No,
that is definitely okay.
So, and most of those people, I'm like, so you're not happy in your relationship to where you got to have a whole other side relationship, and then I mean, call it what it is.
Exactly,
it's cheating. I mean, if you're having and even if you guys may not be sleeping together, if it hasn't gotten to that intimate level, but you're still having conversations that I'm sure are not work related. It may be about the spouse or family issues.
That's what I was about to say. So if you the work wife and me and my husband have a disagreement, a misunderstanding, a fight, argument, whatever you want to call it, and he all in his feelings, right, while he at work, and you there to console him,
who you think?
I wish you would. That's probably why I'm not married no more, but it's okay.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's a recipe for disaster. No, you keep it business and keep it moving. That's it. I mean, awkwardness, company functions. It's all awkward, right? You come to pick them up, from work, and everybody looking at you like, what's going on with them? Nobody got time for that.
Okay.
That's totally disrespectful.
Oh, disrespectful. That's definitely what it is. Disrespectful. But you
Disrespectful
know what? You
relationship.
touched on it too. Like people, you never know the mental state of people. Some people take the words that we say
Mm-hmm.
or the labels that we give them in this scenario to heart. And that person with that mental issue, and again, nothing's wrong with people who have mental issues, behavior issues. And that's not what I'm getting at. But you can trigger them and cause even more issues for them, because now when you're trying to pull away from that work husband, work wife relationship, they're like, wait a minute. So we divorcing, like mentally to them, it could be as devastating as a true divorce.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like you said, you can't just throw that title around. You can't just give that away to anybody. Plus, now, if I got a husband and I'm telling him, baby, let me tell you what my work husband did today.
I wish you would.
Like, is that the kind of conversation that's being had? Like,
I wish you would, girl.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you pull up to the job the next day, I'm waiting because I need to see who is this person you're talking about, and you gave my title.
Yeah, a precious title too.
You only have one husband, one wife at a time, right?
That's
a
it.
Title. But now you're giving it to somebody else.
Yeah.
That you're not even in covenant with.
Call it what it is. It's a side piece.
It's a side piece. My
it's
work
spooky. You're spooky.
I probably would have said that my work side. But no,
too much.
Definitely
too much. Y'all stop playing games. Stop playing games.
Stop playing games. Exactly. If you want to be single and play the field, be single and play the field. Go on and sign these papers and get divorced and let people go about their business. But don't be playing like that, or don't get married at all.
Exactly.
Don't play like that. But we want to thank everybody for tuning into this episode of Magnolia Peach Tea podcast.
Absolutely.
We hope you enjoyed this topic of conversation about unpopular opinions with us. While we understand it's okay to disagree and challenge, what anybody else's thoughts. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions, and we're just telling you guys what our opinions are. So again, stay tuned for more episodes to come.
Thanks for joining us on today.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. We want to hear from you.
So please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in for the next episode of Magnolia Peach Tea Podcast.